Hello?
Hey.
Hey, it's early.
Yeah, the tournament's over.
How'd it go?
Not good. Okay, practice day 1 is over. As you can see, you didn't see any pictures, any video of me catching a fish, setting a hook, missing a fish, blow ups, nothing. You didn't see anything because there was nothing to show. The water's high, the water's muddy. Yeah, it's in the bushes. I flipped bushes, I fished offshore, I did everything. Everything I know to do. I'm glad I came on Wednesday and not Thursday because I had 2 more days to figure this out. So, you know, I wish I had something better to report, but things have not started off great here. All right, so it's day 2 of practice. Yesterday, I feel like I tried to force the fish to do what I wanted him to do. We can't do that. Today's a completely fresh start, and I'm going to try to let the water, the conditions, the fish talk to me. It's a really important day. If I have another day where I don't get bit all day, it's not going to be a good thing, obviously. I'm really hoping the offshore bite will turn on between now and sometime tomorrow. Water temperature at this very moment is 75. It needs to be like 80. I've never fished this place when the water temperature was less than 80. So anyway, important day today. Got to get some bites, and I got to figure out what's going on. It's like 11:30. 11:32 to be exact. Day 2 of practice. I've been out here on the water for almost 18 hours, and I haven't caught a fish yet. So far, this is the worst practice I've ever had for any BFL. And I don't know what the heck the deal is. So I'm gonna take a break for a minute. This is not good. Not good. Guys, you don't even understand how happy I am to have caught this little 2.5 pound, 2.25 pounder. It's 2:30. 2:30. That is my first fish in, I've been fishing for, let's see, yesterday was 12, 18, 20 hours of fishing. I just caught my first one. So what does that tell me? Well, you see what it come off of, that laydown, in about 2.2 foot of water. I have fished deep, I have fished shallow, but I spent a lot of time deep. I was trying to force the deep bite, and it's just not there. That makes me feel a little better. At least I know that I still know how to catch fish. All right, that is it for day 2. On a positive note, day 2 was better than day 1. I caught 1 fish today. Pretty nervous about this. Pretty nervous. I have no idea what to do tomorrow. I definitely have no idea what to do Saturday. It's pretty terrible right now. And the thing that gets me the most is I know somebody somewhere is catching them somehow really good. And I don't know what the freaking deal is. Anyway, that's day 2. I really hope I got something better to report tomorrow. All right, it's Friday morning. One more day of practice here. This first tournament on High Rock. I want to find I don't even know what to say, because I've just struggled so bad. I want to say I want to do this, want to do that, but honestly, I would just love to get bit a time or two today. Just to continue to. I just hope. I don't think the lake's fishing that good. I really don't. I don't think the lake is fishing that good. I don't know. High water. I'm not familiar enough with the lake to determine why it's not fishing good. High muddy water usually is never a great thing. You need to be a really good shallow water fisherman to succeed in a situation like this. And I came out here hoping to be able to fish offshore, and I can't. There's just nothing out there. So unless that turns on today, and I'm going to check it a time or two today, but I just hope to get bit a time or two to kind of key me in on something for tomorrow. So it is 5:55. It's time to go. Wrong flavor. That's it. That is practice. I really wish I had something great to report, but I don't. I didn't catch a bass today. I did find an area. You saw I caught like 4 white bass back to back to back, and those white bass had to be there for a reason, right? Maybe, I don't know if that's, maybe I should go back to that same spot in the morning and fish it a little bit differently to hope the largemouth eat. I don't know. It's kind of sad to say, but I hope I draw a local co-angler who knows what the deal is right now. I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't want that, but sometimes the luck of the draw helps the boater too. I feel like I know how to fish this place. I have fished some really good stuff, and I've caught some really good fish here in the past, and I have fished this place and I have caught fish shallow and deep before, and I just can't get bit. I can't get bit. I do like the spinnerbait bite this morning. I'm gonna throw it a lot in the morning, and past that I'm just gonna put my head down and grind. I don't know. I don't know. I fished out deep. I'm just finished an out deep. I fished this one last point here out in front of Second Creek, and just nothing. I sat here for 15-20 minutes and just waiting, dragging, nothing. So this is it. This is what I got. I don't know. I don't even know what else to say. This is not good. I'll say that. But we've had tournaments before where we had really bad practices and finished okay. We've had tournaments before where we had great practices and then the actual event went to crap. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Next time you see me, it's going to be real.
Best fish I've caught up here.
All right, so I'm back on High Rock Lake this week. Obviously, last week did not go as intended, so there's still a lot to figure out. This lake is having an identity crisis right now, and it's up to me to figure this thing out. I cannot have another tournament like I did last week. The bite is incredibly difficult. I spent way too much time offshore last week. I'm not saying I'm not going to go out deep at all in practice, but I've got to find some shallow fish. So that's the goal. The next 2 days, find some shallow fish, find some fish you can count on that'll bite on tournament day. 2 tournaments this weekend. It's going to be exciting. I love being out here, and I love this chess game that I'm having to play right now with these fish. So we'll see if we can figure it out today.
That's a solid fish right there. But I have messed up. Let him eat it again. I'm gonna try to save him. I'm gonna cut the hook off. Let him swim. Gotta get him back in the water quick. I have waited and I have waited and I have waited and I have waited for this offshore bite to start. And it's starting. Picked up one on that point, picked up one on this point. Definitely not fishing this anymore. This is going to be key. I might just run back and forth this whole bank when they're in the tournament. But I've got several other offshore spots I need to go check. That fish was touching 3 pounds. Those are the kind you're going to need to win with. 5 of them. And 4 of them and a kicker. So, this is good. This is good. Good for me. Because I would rather fish offshore than sit there and beat the bank to death. Wow. Wow. Offshore. Offshore. I don't even need to fish anymore. I'm done. That's it right there. This is offshore. You see what you're looking at? There ain't jack crap around. I am about 500 yards from the closest bank. That's what I need. And that fish was a very, very, very small keeper. Might not have even kept, but very, very small keeper. All right, last day of practice. Yesterday was by far my best day. That's not saying a lot. It's not saying a lot at all, but it was still my best day. And I found that I actually started getting bit offshore. So we're gonna do a little fishing today, not a lot. I need to find something first thing for sure. And I need to be able to just confirm. I would love just one bite out deep, so I can just make sure it's there. And then tomorrow's game day. So we'll see how the day goes. Still trying to put all the pieces together here on High Rock. If that's a white bass or a... What else is new? A big fish too, boy. All right, so that's practice. Today was not very productive. Caught like 15 white bass. I didn't fish none of my good stuff, so I mean, I didn't catch any bass, but it's 12, almost 12. I'm not gonna burn myself out and get all worried if I don't catch anything. Like I said, I didn't fish any of my good stuff. I kind of eliminated some water maybe. I did try to find some docks I might be holding some fish. I didn't find anything like that I really liked. So we're gonna fish some stuff that we've caught fish on before and just hope they bite tomorrow. It's really all I can do. And then capitalize on any kind of opportunity I'm given. I'm gonna fish very, very smart and methodical tomorrow. I'm gonna keep that, you know, keep telling myself that. Smart and methodical. That is how you catch fish offshore. I caught enough fish yesterday to, caught them offshore yesterday, so I caught just enough yesterday to make me realize that there's fish out there. You just have to, it's a timing deal, and you have to be patient about it and have the right angle. So we're going into tomorrow fishing offshore. We're going to start probably offshore. We might go back to a row of docks that I really like, but mainly it's just going to be offshore, 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 and just being patient and methodical. Tomorrow's important to me. If I ever do win a BFL, it's probably going to be here or the James River. So I need to capitalize on opportunities. I want to win. I want to win. W-I-N. Anyway, it's almost game time.
Oh man, am I disappointed? Sure. Yes, I'm disappointed. I'm very disappointed. You know, coming into High Rock, before I even put my boat in the water, I felt fairly confident because I've got some experience on this lake. I know how to fish the lake. I know how it lays out. I know what catches fish here. I've had some really good history here. But man, that first event, when I went out to practice, and I went 20 hours without a bite, I'm telling you, that's pretty damn humbling. And that's exactly what happened to me. I got me a little taste of humble pie. And, you know, come tournament day on that first event, you know, it rolled over. You know, I could not figure anything out. I could not figure out how to get bit. I believe I know what was happening for this first event, though. That first event was the very tail end of the shad spawn. And those fish were feeding up all night on the shad spawn. And they would eat for about the first 30 minutes of the day. So you had about 30 minutes to get bit. So you had to pick the right bank, you had to pick the right rocks, you had to find the right school of shad spawning, and you had to try to get bit. After that, they quit by eating, and they'd go off and suspend somewhere in 10 foot of water and become almost impossible to catch. That's just what I'm thinking. I mean, I'm no bass god, but I feel like that's what these fish were doing. So, but I know on High Rock you can catch quality fish deep, and your bites may come less frequently deep, but the ones you get are good and they're tournament quality fish. So I stay dedicated to the offshore bite because I like it. I'm confident in it. I know how to get bit deep. So, come tournament day, it just wasn't there, and I really didn't expect it to be there. I was just hoping it was. I just was hoping my fish would bite, but they didn't. So I had to abandon that and kind of go to a row of docks that I like, and luckily I plucked a keeper off of a dock, and that was, you know, it might not seem like much, one fish, but I'm gonna tell you this: one fish almost beat half the field on June 6th on this first event, and that should tell you how bad the lake was fishing. I mean, it's just post spawn, the fish are in transition, tail end of the shad spawn, it was just not good. It's just not good. You can look at the overall weights and see that. Don't look at the guy who won, the people who won. You know, look at the overall, how many fish were weighed in, the overall weights that were weighed in. The lake was fishing tough. But, you know, we come back a week later, and the lake looked a lot better. Color-wise, water clarity was better. It was no longer it dropped about 14 inches. It was a lot better, you know, water condition-wise. It still was a tough bite, but finally on Thursday afternoon, I started getting bit deep, and I caught 3 back-to-back offshore. And I felt so much better. I felt confident. I was like, these fish are finally moving out deep. I can catch them the way I want to catch them. So on the second tournament, I stayed really dedicated to my deep stuff. I felt really confident in it. I felt like this is what I needed to be doing. But come tournament day, it just didn't happen for me. They weren't out there. I could not get bit out there. And at about the halfway point, I abandoned the game plan, and I went again to a row of docks that I like, and I was able to pluck a fish off. And it might not sound like much, but it's decent points. If you're fishing an entire season for BFL division, you know that a 0, not catching any fish in a tournament, is a kiss of death. It is incredibly hard to overcome a 0 in a tournament. So you don't want to do that. You want to do everything you can to not 0. And I did. I was fortunate enough to find pluck a couple of keepers off in these first 2 events. I could tell the lake was starting to fish a little bit better than the week before, during this second tournament. It just overall was I couldn't get bit. I didn't know what to do to get bit. So certainly not the start we wanted, but this is a triple header. There's 3 High Rock events, and the third one's coming up. And I'll tell you, going into this third event, I didn't have a lot to lose,
I figured, well, hell, I fished 2 events so far and I just weighed in 2 fish. I mean, to be sure, I can at least catch 1 and get those points, but you know, I'm going to swing for the fences. I'm going to keep doing what I've been doing and hope that my fish bite. Now, I'm not going to spoil too much, but I will tell you, in that 3rd event, I catch quite a few more fish, and I feel that live well up. But that's going to do it for the first 2 events here in our 2020 High Rock triple header. I appreciate you guys watching. Hope I helped somebody figure out how to get bit somehow, some way. On High Rock when it's fishing tough. I'll see you guys in the next video, which is coming out real soon. Boom shakalaka! I tell you what, it ain't a big limit, but it's a limit.